What is going on, everybody? This is your boy Juggernaut097, bringing you guys another Juggernaut Retro Review. And this is episode number 20 of Juggernaut Retro Reviews. And I'm continuing with my Elimination Chamber reviews, and with this installment that I'm going to be reviewing is 2011. And overall, I thought this was a pretty decent show, other than like a few things that happened on the show that I really wasn't a big fan of. I thought the show was all right. I think 2010 was still a little bit better to me. I don't know. I just like those chamber matches better. But I mean, and there was a lot of predictable things that happened on this show. But before we get started with this review, go follow me on all my social media platforms. Go follow me on Twitter at TheTrueJSB. Go follow me on Instagram, TheTrueJSB. And you can add me on Snapchat if you want. All my links will be down in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started with this Elimination Chamber 2011 review. So the first match that kicked off the show was Alberto Del Rio with Ricardo Rodriguez versus Kofi Kingston. And, of course, Alberto Del Rio was the, 2011 Royal Rumble winner. He won the largest Royal Rumble match ever with 40 men in it. And Kofi Kingston, at this time, he was the United States champion. This match was all right. I mean, both guys worked pretty well together. They had pretty good chemistry. Around this time, Kofi Kingston, he really wasn't doing much as the IC champion. So I don't really understand why the IC title really wasn't on the line here. And he was barely defending it and stuff. And Kofi Kingston was losing a lot basically to everybody on the SmackDown roster and even the Raw roster. Like, Kofi Kingston was like booked very bad. Like, I don't know. Was this like his fourth or fifth time holding the IC title? I can't remember because he's held the title for so long. He's held that title for a lot of times. But Alberto Del Rio, he was the Rumble winner. He was really over as a heel. He was actually getting some cheers and stuff. And, coming out in his cars and all that back in 2011. I mean, later on, with his, being as a heel and stuff, he kind of got a little stale and stuff. But right at the beginning, I felt like he could have been a legit competitor to actually, win the World Heavyweight Championship. And maybe if they would have had the IC title on the line here, I felt like they could have, made Alberto Del Rio even more legitimate. Maybe had at WrestleMania, because we already know who Alberto Del Rio is going to be facing, basically Edge. So the world champion versus the IC champion, you could combine both of them. That would have brought the prestige back to the IC title. That would have been pretty cool and, made Alberto Del Rio more legit. But about this match, the match was all right. I mean, it looks like Kofi Kingston was, could have won at some points. But you knew Kofi Kingston was not going to win here. Alberto Del Rio won by the cross arm breaker in a pretty clean fashion. He was one of these heels, back in 2011 that actually won in clean fashions. Didn't have dirty finishes to win the match. Unlike, Punk and other people. But I thought this was a decent opener, like nothing crazy, but it was all right. Good way to go into WrestleMania with a, win here. So I thought it was all right match. And then the next match we had was the Elimination Chamber for the World Heavyweight Championship. We had Edge defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Rey Mysterio, Kane, Drew McIntyre, Big Show, and Wade Barrett, which originally it was supposed to be Dolph Ziggler in this match instead of Big Show. But, I'm putting air quotes right now. Dolph Ziggler was fired. And so Teddy Long came out and he put Big Show in this match, which was kind of anticlimactic, which I don't like that was Big Show. I wish it would have been like somebody else, like Christian, which we'll talk about him in a minute here. But I thought this was an alright match. I think this match was a lot better than the Raw Elimination Chamber match, in my opinion. But it took a while for like the first elimination to happen because basically everybody was out in the everybody came out. Everybody was out in their pods, out of the pods. Sorry. Big Show eliminated Wade Barrett, which it was unfortunate what they were doing with Wade Barrett at this time. You know, they made the core. You know, they ruined the Nexus, and then they brought the core. You know, with Justin Gabriel, Heath Slater, and Ezekiel Jackson. But you know, Big Show, he just freaking treated Wade Barrett like a rag doll. I mean, threw him into the whatchamacallit, the pods, you know, broke the plexiglass, which I say, oh, this plexiglass can't be broken, yada, yada, yada. They said, this is the strongest glass ever. But, you know, that would kind of set up Wade Barrett and Big Show's feud. You know, going into WrestleMania, they had that big, terrible 8-man tag team match at Mania. But, yeah, Big Show eliminated Wade Barrett. And then Kane eliminated Big Show after that. And then, who else? And then Kane, he eliminated Drew McIntyre. So Kane was going on a pretty good roll here. He was on a pretty good roll. And then Edge speared Kane to eliminate him, which Rey Mysterio, it was pretty cool. Rey Mysterio hit like a 619 hit. Rey Mysterio was trying to do something. And Kane still had him. And then Edge hit Rey Mysterio and Kane. So, with a spear. And then, so that's how Edge got eliminated. And then it came down to Rey Mysterio and Edge, which those were the first two guys that started the match. Which, there was actually some points where I thought, maybe Rey Mysterio could win this match. I mean, he had some pretty close falls in here. He hit a couple 619s. But that second 619, he was going for his C senton. But Edge got up and hit a mid-air spear. And then he got the 1, 2, 3 to still be the World Heavyweight Champion. So he's going to go to WrestleMania as the World Champion. Which they had some really good encounters, Edge and Rey Mysterio, in chamber matches. Because I remember their 09 match. That was a really good one. Did they have another one? Was it 08 maybe? I can't remember. But no, this was really, really good here, though. This was really good. They have Rey Mysterio and Edge. They always have great chemistry. And then after the match, we had Alberto Del Rio come out, you know, basically saying that he was going to be picking him at Mania, which basically already knew that. And Alberto Del Rio put him in the cross arm breaker. And then we heard Christian's music come on, which Christian, he was, you know, 6 months prior, he got injured by Alberto Del Rio. So this was, you know, good storytelling here. So how they brought Christian back, you know, to save his best friend Edge, you know, good best friends there. So Christian, you know, he hit the kill switch on Alberto Del Rio to help out Edge. So I thought this was good, you know, how they brought Christian back. You know, at this time when I was watching the show, I was like, yeah, it's Christian. I was so excited. You know, I was excited when Christian came back. And yeah, I thought this was a good match. I'm happy that Edge retained his title, and you know this was, you know, one of the last ever pay-per-views that he would be on. You know, well, either than WrestleMania. WrestleMania was his last pay-per-view for quite a while. But yeah, Edge was the winner here. And then the next match. Well, actually, before I talk about that, you know, we had Trish Stratus on the show, which she basically said that she's going to be a judge or a trainer for Tough Enough. So that was pretty cool. You know, she said she was talking to Booker T and stuff, and she did the kind of terrible, "Can you dig it, sucker?" Like it was terrible, which was pretty bad in my opinion. So she basically, you know, she said that she's gonna be a trainer on Tough Enough, and that was gonna be on USA. And you know, she said, finally, Trish Stratus has came back. You know, she was doing The Rock and a Booker T impression, and she tried to do a little spinnerini, which wasn't that good, to be honest. And also, we had the return of Kelly on this show. You know, after she got quote unquote fired on that SmackDown, so she came back. Teddy Long reinstated her because Vicky Guerrero came out and, she was asking to have Dolph Ziggler reinstated, but no, Kelly got reinstated. And then when Kelly came out, she got attacked by Michelle McCool and Lay Cool. And that would kind of lead to a, Lay Cool thing at WrestleMania, like with Snooki, which was, oh man, that's terrible. Don't get me even started on that. But it was just weird. I didn't really like Kelly that much. I mean, she was all right, good eye candy, but she wasn't a very good wrestler, in my opinion. But I just want to tell a little bit about that there. It was pretty cool seeing Trish Stratus on the show, though. Nice seeing her. But then the next match we had was the WWE Championship match, which this wasn't a Elimination Chamber match. It was The Miz defending the title with Alex Riley versus Jerry Lawler. Which I hated this whole thing with Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole. Michael Cole on the commentary team. How he's being the big old heel. And, this will lead to that, Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole match at Mania. Oh, Lord, don't get me started on that either. Terrible Mania, man. I tell you what, that was a bad Mania, I'll tell you that right now. But this matchup wasn't actually that bad. There was actually a few points where I thought maybe Jerry Lawler could get, and win here. Become WWE champion. Because that's one title he never won in WWE. He's won so many other titles, but he's never won the WWE Championship. And he's never been in the match at WrestleMania. So I thought, hey, maybe they can have him win the title here for one night and then lose it, on Monday Night Raw or something. But, I mean, it was good that The Miz won cleanly here. He hit the skull crusher finale to get the 1, 2, 3. But yeah, there was some, the crowd was behind Jerry Lawler. They wanted him to win here. But you knew that Jerry Lawler wasn't going to win. You knew that. But, like I said, there was some hope there. Like, maybe Jerry Lawler could win here, but he also got his big moment at WrestleMania, having finally his first WrestleMania match, and we had Michael Cole have a WrestleMania match, which Michael Cole is 1-0 at Mania. Michael Cole's 1-0, which he's never been defeated. He's that undefeated streak is still going on. But he's not going to get to the Undertaker streak. Like, no way. But it was a not bad match. It was pretty short also, so got a good time. And then the next match we had was an Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania 27. So we had John Cena, CM Punk, John Morrison, King Sheamus, which, because he won the King of the Ring that year, or 2010 he won it, and Randy Orton and R-Truth. So the first people that started this match was King Sheamus and John Morrison that started this match. Yeah. And I thought this was actually an alright match, but I thought the first Elimination Chamber match was a lot better, in my opinion. But let's see who got R-Truth got eliminated first by King Sheamus. I don't remember exactly. I think it was by a bro kick, maybe. Something like that. And then Randy Orton eliminated CM Punk, which there was like a whole bunch of fuckery in this right here, where CM Punk's, there was like a malfunction with his chamber or with his pod. It wouldn't open. So, Randy Orton was just beating him down. CM Punk was kind of stuck in the chamber or stuck in the pod halfway. And then CM Punk finally got out, and then Randy Orton hit an RKO. 1, 2, 3. So Punk was eliminated, and then we had a remember how they had the automated or like the computer general manager? He said Michael Cole got on the computer, said, "May I have your attention?" And said that Punk can get back in his chamber, so he got back in his pod, and so Punk was not eliminated then. And then we had John Morrison eliminate Sheamus by when. John Morrison, he was like doing some like Spider-Man type of stuff. He was climbing the top of the chamber, and like he was actually at the top of the like where the hole is at the top, and he just basically fell on top of Sheamus. That was a pretty cool spot during the match. And then Punk Punk finally came out and eliminated John Morrison with a GTS. And then it came down to CM Punk and John Cena, which this was very anticlimactic. I did not like how this ended. Like right when Punk eliminated Morrison, it was like maybe 30 seconds later, John Cena eliminated Punk with an AA onto the still grate. And then of course John Cena would win the match and go on to face The Miz at WrestleMania. I mean, I wish I had CM Punk and Cena had a longer encounter in this match. And this was before the whole pipe bomb stuff, and Punk was undefeated at this point against Cena. I think he was like 3-0 because they did like a little promo before this. So they're like, you know what? Gotta have Cena win here, Super Cena win. But at least they kind of helped protected CM Punk here because saying they kind of protected Punk here. He got blindsided. He wasn't expecting to get eliminated that quickly by Cena. But no, I thought this was a alright match. And like I said, Cena will go on to face The Miz at Mania, which we all know what happened with The Rock interfering, and that was a terrible ending to WrestleMania. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, that was Elimination Chamber 2011. Oh, actually, I forgot a match on this show. I can't believe I forgot this. This match, yeah, the most pointless match on here, which was the tag team match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We had, who was it? It was Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov versus the Core, Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel with Ezekiel Jackson. This match was whatever. I mean, it was all right, but the Core did end up winning the match. So they did end up becoming new tag team champions, Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater. But it's unfortunate, really, what they did with this team. Like how they had them as the Nexus, and like they really ruined the Nexus. Like I thought the Nexus could have been a good team. And when they brought Cena in back in 2010. But yeah, I mean the Core will become the new tag team champions. That's a match I forgot on here. The most pointless match on here. But if you guys were to go back and watch a show, watch both the chamber matches. Maybe watch the WWE Championship. But other than that, some of the stuff on here is pointless. But I thought it wasn't a bad show. Like there are definitely more worst Elimination Chamber pay-per-views. But this isn't like... I'll say this is one of your better ones in my opinion. But yeah, that was my Elimination Chamber 2011 review. Probably my next review that I'm going to be doing is Elimination Chamber 2021. So stay tuned for that. I don't know if I'll do any more chamber reviews. Maybe I might. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, this is boy Juggernaut saying peace out, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.